So, hey, finally, we're live on Facebook. It is 10 after 2, 12 after 2, and this is our 2 p.m. stretch session. Hope you guys are having a great afternoon. Having a little technological issues with the laptop and getting the feed up, so I apologize for the tardiness, but we were working diligently to get the technology going. As we do on these Facebook Lives. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Hopefully you got your workout in and you're getting ready to do that this later this evening. Hard week with the workouts, and so I wanted to do a little stretch session to focus on a particular area, low back and hips. So low back pain is a very common thing amongst people, especially people that I work with. About 70 to 80% of people have some sort of low back pain. And as a trainer, I was working to help people alleviate those situations in their low back. And so wanted to do this stretch session just to kind of switch it up from the workouts a little bit, and maybe some of you can use this video. It will live on the VIP circle page, so you can always go back to it and reference it. So I appreciate you guys hanging out and checking out this video. If you're watching it, hashtag live and a thumbs up that you can hear me, or on the replay, hashtag replay. If you're watching this, go ahead and type that in. Even when you watch it on the replay, it's important that you participate in the video, even though it's not live. And I can see the notifications as you guys are participating in the chat. So hashtag live if you're live, hashtag replay on the replay. And if you're in there live and I see somebody jumping on, I can't see my phone though, I can't read it from here. But thank you for checking out the video. Give me a thumbs up and let me know that you can hear me. We're focusing on stretching the low back or alleviating low back pain and tight hips. Very common, very common. Maybe you've been working most of the morning in this early part of the afternoon. Perfect time to get up and do some stretching, and kind of move a little bit to kind of refresh and rejuvenate. Take a break from your work for about 20-30 minutes and do some stretching. Today we'll do hips and low back. Now it's important to understand low back pain doesn't necessarily mean that it's coming from the low back. A lot of times low back pain comes from the anterior part of the body, or this part right here, the hip flexors right here. So when we're a very sedentary society, so a lot of sitting will cause shortness here in the hip flexors. Now if you know anything about the body, the hip flexors that are here go through the pelvis and then they attach to the back here. Okay, so it goes from the front to the back. So when these muscles are short and tight, it's going to pull in this area here. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to stretch this area. But a lot of times, it's the opposite side of the body that we need to work on to alleviate that low back tension. And so I'm going to take you through a sequence, to alleviate some of that. Most of it will be on the floor, so if you're able to do this on the floor, do that. If not, save the video and do it, do the stretches another time. But this is going to be a really great sequence that you can save for later. So let's get into it a little bit. One of the first things that I like to do to start moving in this area and to loosening it up is I like to do what's called hip rotation. So I'm gonna sit back with my shoulders behind my hips, chest is up, hands are wide so I can support my upper body, and then Feet are wide, knees are wider than the hips, okay? And all we're gonna do is we're gonna just rotate through the hips, bringing the knees to the right and to the left. So we'll just do that a few times. And the goal is to get the knees to the floor as much as possible. And hopefully you all can see that. We're gonna do about 5 to 7 of those. If you're doing this on your own, do as many as you need. Everybody's tight in different areas. Maybe you need to do it a little bit more. Some of you may need to do it a little bit less. But feel kind of the tension in the hips, in the glutes, and do the appropriate amount that is necessary. Good, so we got the hips going. Nice rotation through there. Good. And then we'll stop there. Okay, so we talked about the hip flexors being tight. One of the things we can do is we can start getting some extension through here, so it alleviates that tension here in the low back. You can't see me as I'm talking. I'll go all the way back here. But, so what we can do is we can get kind of in this kneeling position here. Okay, stabilize yourself. Now, you can put your hand against the couch if you need to stabilize. If you need to put a towel under your knee to protect your knee, you can do that. Okay. I'm going to stabilize and balance myself in this position. I'm going to squeeze my glute here on the leg that's back, and I'm going to drive my hip forward. And then you should feel a nice stretch coming right through here. Step forward, and then come back. So we'll do about 5 to 7 of these. Push, come back, push, come back. Stay upright, brace your core. Again, there's not a lot of intensity. We're just looking for range. You should feel that nice stretch right here. Do one more. Really push it and squeeze the glute, push the hip forward, 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 and then we'll switch, okay? Switch to the other side. We'll do 5 on this side. Again, I'm gonna stabilize myself by holding the couch. You can do it free, away from, having to hold anything, but whatever works. Make sure you're feeling that stretch in the hip flexor. Notice the knees behind the hip. I'm nice and tall. Squeezing my left glute. Also on the opposite side, getting some good stretch through the glute and the hamstring. We'll do 2 more. 2 and 1 and rest. Perfect. All right, we'll come back over here so you guys can see me. I'm actually going to tilt this up a little bit. Get 2 people. Hi, Melissa. Good. Tilt that up a little bit. Good. All right. So we got that going. Now let's get into a little bit of a pigeon pose. So I'll show you 2 variations. Biggest thing here is getting the knee at the midline, right here, and kind of hovering over it. Now you're going to sit back on that glute. And depending on your mobility, your range of movement, it can be here, you can be here, or you can rest your chest on the knee, stretch your arms out, and extend. Biggest thing is to breathe in through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and just hold this. 30 seconds minimum, but as long as you need. Again, try to relax. As you're stretching a particular area, try to connect with that body part, that area of your body where you should be opening up. And we'll switch, other side. Now, that still may be challenging for some of you, okay? And as you're stretching your opposite side, right, we can show modification. You can use your couch. Put my knee here on the couch. My hip here is dropping off the edge, and my opposite leg is extended back. So this is an elevated pigeon pose. Okay? So you're gonna be able to get a little bit more depth here. So if maybe you were having problems on the floor getting into this position with your knee at the midline, try it on the edge of your couch. See how that feels. 2, 1, and rest. All right, now we're feeling pretty good. We're feeling pretty good now. Let's come down. Let's work a little bit more in the hips and the glutes. So let's go into a little bit of a hip flexor stretch, but this time we're gonna come up this way. Okay, you can be here and place our hands on the floor. Back leg, we're stretching that hip flexor again. Here, right, we're opening up the hip, stretching the hamstring. We can advance the stretch by taking our knee and we can roll the ankle out. So now we're gonna stretch a little bit through here, top of the foot, ankle, and opening up the hip a little bit more. And then if you wanna take it to another level, drop that elbow down and kind of sit in that pose. Remember to breathe. Allow yourself to breathe and relax. Allow yourself to work through that stretch reflex and allow those fibers to open up. Don't force it. Just naturally relax. Breathe. Stretching should be relaxing, should be easy, shouldn't be tense. It's not like a workout. It's the opposite. If you're feeling tense and like you're holding on and you're white knuckling, you're doing it wrong, okay? So just try to dial it back a little bit. That way you get the most benefit. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. Again, we're here if you need to be, and then we can advance, take it up, or drop the elbow here. Cool. Hold this for another 10 seconds. And release. Good. Let's do a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So we'll take more of the tension out of the low back here by lengthening through the glutes and the hamstring. We can come into this pose again. Extend the leg here, right? Bending the opposite knee. And all we're gonna do is keeping the knee locked out. We're just gonna lean over, bringing the chest and shoulders towards the knee and stretch, okay? So this may be a little bit challenging for some of you. Okay, if this is too challenging, right, just find that range of movement, breathe and allow the hamstring to open up. It'll be closer to the back of the knee. You'll feel that opener. If you need to do a modification, you can do an elevated hamstring stretch with the leg elevated on the arm of the couch or the coffee table, that kind of thing. You can do that. Either or. In the seated position, right, we can go here, this way, to lengthen. So a couple of different ways that we can lengthen the hamstring. Let's work the opposite side. Again, either in this position or our more advanced version. Take it to here. Okay? For runners, this is a great way to lengthen that hamstring. Really get a little bit more range. Open up that stride a little bit so you're not so tight. Walk those hands in. Good. And release. Good. All right, let's do a little bit of a piriformis stretch. A couple different ways we can do that. Show you on the couch here. We'll go sideways. So we can sit at the edge of the couch, left foot, left ankle over right knee. And then we're gonna just bring the chest and shoulders to to the shin. And we're going to relax. And you should be feeling that stretch right back here. It's going to release all that tension. Nice deep breath, and then exhale, and then bring that chest closer to the lower part of the leg. Again, stretching and breathing go hand in hand. So make sure you continually have that cycle of breath going in and coming out. Okay? On the floor, you'll switch to the other side. On the floor, it could be what's called thread the needle. Either here, and maybe you don't feel it quite here. Then maybe we'll reach behind the hamstring and hold that here. Or, if you need a little bit more tension, we can get into a position like pigeon, like we just did. But instead of bringing your foot in and under your body, keep the lower part of your leg, the shin, parallel to your hips, and then sit back. Okay? So we're going to open up the piriformis, open up the hip that way. All right, and just breathe. Breathe and relax. You should feel that opener. As you're relaxing, your hips should be dropping closer and closer to the floor. Maybe you need to readjust your hand position to allow that to happen. Do that. Some nice deep breaths here. Nice little break in the afternoon. Kind of refresh and rejuvenate here. Good. And we'll come on up. So now we did both sides. We stretched the piriformis. Hopefully you're starting to feel pretty good on that. Pretty good. Let's do a little seated twist. So we'll work thoracic rotation here. We'll also get a nice range of movement. We've done this plenty of times in our workout, right? We can either have our legs extended this way, or we can wrap that. If we're going to this side, my left, we can slide the right leg under, bent at the knee. Left leg comes in. Right, we'll reach up nice and high, stretch your lat here, then drop the elbow, and then twist and turn. Make sure that left shoulder is down and away. Sit back on that left hip and breathe. Okay? Good opportunity to oxygenate the system by taking some deep breaths. Or you could do what's called box breathing, which I've been learning about, where you inhale on a 4 count, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and repeat. Do that 4 times. Fill your body up with oxygen. Good way to refresh. And other side. Again, find that progression that works for you. Again, reach up, slide that right hand back, drop the elbow, twist and turn. Sit nice and tall. So be careful of this, right? Still want to keep good form. You want your chest up. You should be bracing your core slightly and just relaxing into this position, feeling that twist, lengthening the fibers. And staying nice and tall as we stretch. Good. And release. Perfect. let's see, where can we go from here? You know, there's a lot of good things that you can do to continue to work on your hip mobility and to take that tension off the low back. Here's a good one. Let's go into tabletop position in cat pose here. Knees under your hips, hands under shoulders. We're gonna just round the back, bringing the chin to the chest. You hear my sternum pop. Round that back, take that tension up, and then exhale, arching the back, bring the chin up. Inhale, push into the floor, retract those shoulder blades. Exhale. And then just move at your own pace. You're getting some nice length through the back. One more time. Inhale. Nice rounded back. Exhale. Arch and release. There you go. Guess you feel refreshed. Stand up, move around. Hopefully that tension is out. You feel reinvigorated with that consumption of oxygen into your system. You're refreshed, you're ready to go. Knock it out the rest of this afternoon. Hope you guys enjoyed this stretch video. Hopefully you feel good and ready to go to finish out this work week. We will do more of these kinds of videos. If you have particular areas that you want to see some videos on, maybe shoulders, that's another area that I was thinking about doing a video on. You know, anything, shoulders, neck, you know, quads, definitely quads, we'll focus on that. Tight calves, maybe plantar fasciitis, things that you can do for that, those kinds of conditions. If you have an idea, post it in the comments. That way I see it, and then we'll do a video on that so that you guys can utilize these videos to keep yourself mobile and flexible and most importantly pain-free, okay? So again, appreciate you guys checking out the video. Let me know what you want to see and we'll get that taken care of for you. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday afternoon. Kill it out there wherever you're at. And let's check out the comments. Let's see what we got going on here. Shoulders and neck. Christina, hello. Cool, shoulders and neck. We'll do shoulders and neck next time. Okay, so that'll be the focus of the next video. Shoulders and neck, we'll do that. You guys enjoy this video. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and we'll see you next time.